Everyone. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Sip and Talk with Miss Londa. We have a lot that we're going to be discussing today, so just give me 1 second here while I'm trying to help get my co-host in. All right, hey, how you doing?
Hey, I'm good. How you doing?
Good, good. All right, hold on. All
Your
right,
hair is cute.
thank you. So, I got a lot of videos and stuff that I want to play.
Okay.
Um, Let me see, which one do I start? I'll start with the news article first. That's what I'll do.
Okay.
Oh wait, this is the mom. Hold on.
Play video games. Good times, she says she'll miss sharing with her daughter. There's no reason my daughter would ever be over here. My daughter go to school, go home, go to school, go home. She go play her basketball, come home. And Kei'Mani would have turned 14 years old on Friday.
I don't know why it keeps cutting off. Let me see. Okay, so that was a video of the mom speaking out. Are you able to hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so that was a video of the mom speaking out. Um, when they were looking for the daughter, and I think this particular day that she was speaking, I think they had found the body in the house but hadn't identified it yet.
Mm-hmm.
And then let me see. Now I found this video last night, and I found this kind of like disturbing.
Oh Lord.
I'll say that.
Or whatever his name is, Grady, a straight weirdo. Like, she was trying to put us on with him. Like, this supposed to be your nigga, your baby daddy, your so-called baby daddy, Auntie Dorothy. And you let him look at us, and then you thought you was just so comfortable to tell us that when y'all was fucking that he said he wanted Kei'Mani to come upstairs and suck his dick.
What? Man, take me back to Dorothy.
So
Man, I'm about to whip this whole
she
ass.
thought that was okay to say. We checked that shit. We checked that shit. And ain't no telling, ain't no fucking telling when she was leaving him in that house with her, what the fuck was going on.
That it was just her and Kei'Mani living in the home. So the grandmother was lying. That's the first lie.
Another person in that household, or at least comes over there or stay there. I don't know if he's staying there or not. But this person right here, he goes by Wayne. He calls himself Wayne Brady. But he just recently got out of prison. Now, this is the one where a lot of you students have reached out telling not only myself, but other people the complaints that Kei'Mani had against him, where he was making advances towards her constantly. And it was reported, but it seems like that the Child Protective Services has failed Kei'Mani. So this name Wayne Brady, I'm pretty sure is a fictitious name, all right? I'm pretty sure his name is Wayne, but last name is not Brady. But he just recently got out, but he's doing a lot.
Now, so the grandma, when she was speaking, like she act like, she act innocent, but basically what they're saying is she had like a lot of different people, and this guy is supposed to have been somebody she was dating, and I guess she had a child by him. So if he's making advances like that, why was he still there, and why would you feel comfortable
Exactly.
leaving him in the house with her?
That's crazy. It seemed like they was selling her to
That's
men type
it's
of vibe.
that's what it's giving, kind of like the same situation as Naziah
Mm-hmm.
situation.
Especially like the abuse too, because there was a lot of her reporting to her school people of certain things, bruises on her body and things that she was reporting, and everybody failed her pretty much.
Yeah, like I guess when Child Protection came out and spoke with her, they said they didn't find a reason to remove her from the home. and but that they gave her some advice on how to spank her without leaving bruises. So it sounds like she probably just kind of like manipulated the situation. Yeah. And let me see.
That's sad. That's so sad.
I have another video.
So you can't just shit outside. And my mama's house was the closest, so he wouldn't knock on my mama's door. He said he knocked. He knocked once, he knocked twice. And then he's standing there, he waiting. He said when he knocked that second time, he said he heard a bunch of shuffling in the house. It sounded like it was like 2 or 3 people in the house. And then it sounded like somebody ran upstairs. And then he knocked again, and nobody answered. So he's like, okay, maybe I'm tripping. So he leave off my mama porch and he go get back in the car. And he like, I'm just trying to suck it up. I'm just trying to get through it. So they happened to look back at my mama's house before they pulled off. And the upstairs light was on. The upstairs light was on. They drive around for a little bit longer, and then they get to a point, because they weren't even gone for a full 5 minutes, and he was like, nah, bro, we got to go back. I'm going to fuck around and shit on myself. So they go back to my mama's house. Oh, shit. Wait. I got to take it back. I'm sorry. Because I completely skipped over the fact that when they were getting ready to pull out after he knocked and he heard the shuffling or whatever, when they were getting ready to pull off, they looked at the light, they were looking back at the house, and the light upstairs was off. So they go in and they pull off. They said when they went to go turn the corner to continue searching for Kei'Mani, that they see my mama's car turn on, which means she was about to go somewhere. But they thinking like, okay, well maybe she just ran into Tom's or something to go, you know what I'm saying, grab some cigarettes. So they're like, fuck it, we just gonna go back to looking for Kei'Mani. He's like, I'll just have to suck it up. So they go back and they start looking again. But after like, I say like a minute or two, he like, yeah, no, I can't do this. I'm gonna fuck around and shit on myself. So they pull back up to the house. It ain't even been 5 minutes when they get back in front of my mama's house. When they get there, the light upstairs, all of a sudden that same light is on. But my mama not at home. Her car ain't out front of the house. And that's the only place that she could park other than the alley in the back. Mm-hmm. That light is on, but my mama's still not home. So he tried knocking again. No answer. So then he said he went around back and he like, fuck it, I'm gonna just piss right here. He's like, maybe that'll give me some relief. I gotta get some relief one way or another. So he go around the back of my mama's house and he pissed. He said that while he was back there, he said he couldn't pinpoint where the sound was coming from, but he heard a female voice say, stop, that's enough, stop. And so he like, what the fuck? So he called out to my other cousins, like low-key whispering, like, hey, y'all. Like, he's trying not to be too loud so that as to like not alert whoever it was that said it, in case it was like some weird shit. So he like, hey, y'all. And he like catch up to him or whatever. And he caught up to him like by the field at the end of my mama's street. So, they walk through the field. And as they're walking through the field, my mom pulls up. She parks her car, but the way that my mama was coming from on the street, in order for her to park her car in front of the house, she would have had to pass them. So she's seen them in that field. And the field is on the corner, so there's hella lights right there. But so my mama, as they're walking through the field, my mama pull up. She pull up, run up to the house, to the side of the house, open the garbage, throws the bag in there, and then runs in the house and locks the door. And so my little cousin's like, wait, because I know she saw us. Why she ain't say nothing? And what was in that bag? So they go in the trash can on the side of my mama's house. And when they opened it, they said it was a Dollar General bag with balled up clothes in it. And on top of the bag was a set of gloves, like rubber gloves. And they said that some of them clothes in that bag looked like it had blood on it. And like it had blood on it. And they was trying to figure out how to get the bag out the trash without putting their fingerprints and stuff on it. And I told them, I was like, don't use y'all clothes to grab that bag, because if that's evidence, y'all don't want nothing on there tying it back to y'all. So they like, okay, well, what can we use? So they leave and they roaming around and literally looking in other people's trash cans, trying to see like, is it like a old used towel or something that they could use to grab it? And before they even get anywhere, they end up getting blurts. So that's what that was. But I know when I talked to the detectives, because I ended up pulling up on my little cousins, because I'm like, I'm Kei'Mani's mom. I don't want them to get in trouble trying to solve, trying to figure out what happened to my daughter, because they good kids. So I ended up pulling up on them. They told me where they was at. We pulled up on them, me and my other two cousins. And I spoke to the detective. He's like, look, they're not in any trouble. We already know that you guys have been looking for your daughter for a while now. He's like, they're not in any trouble. He's like, we just want to make sure that, the right, that the right steps are taken to make sure that we process this evidence, if it is indeed evidence, the right way. So, but before I ended up leaving, before I ended up exiting that general area, there was 6 police officers at my mama's door.
Now, did you hear that? What everything she said? Now, here's so she did an interview on this guy's podcast, and I have that interview, and she never mentioned none of this unless I missed it, but I'm not sure. But also, it doesn't sound like the same person either, because the person's voice on that interview sounds a little bit more softer, and this person's voice sounds a little bit deeper.
Now, who was she supposed to be?
That's supposed to have been Tierra Gaston, which is Kei'Mani's biological mother.
Yeah, I'm like, I've heard her talk on other interviews, and that don't sound like her.
So, okay, it's not just me.
Yeah.
I was tripping last night. I'm like, wait a minute, that voice.
Yeah.
So maybe, I don't know if maybe this person that did this video is portraying to be her for views or something. I don't know. But that's chilling.
That's crazy.
That's chilling.
Unless she know her and she told her something and she's acting like it's a tell the story. I don't know. I know that's not her voice.
Yeah, because like I said, I got the interview.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Is this it? Okay, this is the mom talking to the news.
Okay.
Try to get everything I could.
This will be reciprocated, period. I don't give no fuck about how.
I'm gonna start early.
Had her best interests at heart, but where is she?
You did that to your own grandbaby.
Own grandbaby.
Nigga.
When the fuck is this will be reciprocated, period. I don't give no fuck about how the fuck none of y'all feel, bitch. And I done had shit to do with it. Flash.
I ain't stupid. Dorothy, you might not have nothing to do with it, but you know what's going on.
No, the fuck I don't. No, I don't.
Yes, you do, Dorothy.
Thanks for passing judgment.
I told you. Too much stuff going on.
Not at all. 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 Not that motherfucking. I'm about to fucking focus on her, bring her out about this motherfucker. That bitch is lost. That bitch is lost. That's right. You know what you did to her.
Definitely not the same voice.
Right. It's not the same voice. And then you want to know something else that she said in this interview with the guy? She said that the house that they found Kei'Mani's body in was owned by her grandmother.
Yep.
Before.
I heard that they said some years ago that she had that house. Yep.
So that's a red flag to me.
And the way the grandma acted, even when she was talking to doing her news thing, no type of no crying, no type of sympathy. She act like the mom, well, Tierra was telling her that it wasn't her biological dad, but then she backtracked, was like, oh, it is, it's not. Like her story kept flipping too.
It was a lot of deflection, it seemed like. So here's the interview with the guy. Hold on 1 second.
Blacks. You there, Tierra? I don't know if it went out. Did it go? Excuse me. Did it go out yet? You there, Tierra?
Yeah, I think it went out.
Okay.
So this is with her and her friend.
All right. I don't know if you might need to go out and come back in and click back in, Tierra. But okay, with Jazz, do you think you can answer? I think you might can answer that question.
Yeah. Can you guys hear me loud and clear? Because I do have my headphones. Dorothy is Tierra's biological mom. She is Kei'Mani's biological grandmother, and Darnell is Kei'Mani's biological father.
Okay, y'all got that? Y'all got that in the chat? Because see, that's what I wanted to know. Because the other day, hell, I had people coming out to me the other day. I'm just trying to definitely speak up for our baby girl Kei'Mani, and you don't know this, you don't know that until, you know, I got an inbox and a message from the family, which I'm so grateful for. And you know, this is the family friend right here, and I got to give it to Jazz. Jazz is, you know, she don't like what's been saying on the internet, you know, about her friend, which is Tierra, Kei'Mani's mom. Yeah, she had to come back out. Let me know if I need to, if we need to resend you the link. And damn, I hate that happened. Give us 1 minute. She's going to come back in. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have everybody to put one question down there. Okay, here we go. Who let the police know that Kei'Mani was in his house? Like how, like your mom. So, I mean,
my mother did.
Okay. Do you think that's strange? I mean, because I think it's strange. How would she know that? Like, did somebody?
So unless you were involved in the crime, you wouldn't know that my baby's body was there. Unless you were either involved in the crime, someone that was involved confided in you, or you were in the house yourself.
Wow.
Those are the only ways that you would know if there was a body in that house. But I believe that my daughter even being found in the house was a setup in and of itself. Why? Because my grandmother, whose name at the time that she owned that house was Ruby Slaughter, is a previous owner. And the fact that the home was being condemned, my mother being her next of kin would have been notified.
Wow. Wow. I think she needs to be investigated. Okay, we have a question. We got.
Do you hear the voice though?
The people at the end of the day, I know y'all want to know, like, where was she and why was Tierra?
That even sound like a different person.
Not in well,
yeah.
Let me see. Let me rephrase this. Let me rephrase it. People, we got one person want to know was like, why was she not in your custody? Now,
I can go into it really quick, but she was taken away from me at birth. I was originally living in Cleveland, and you know, I called my mom because I'm like, hey, you know,
you told me once that I was supposed to have been aborted, but you chose to give me life anyways. And I told her, like, you know, I want to come up there and I want to allow you to see your granddaughter be born, as a gift to you, you know. Um, and she brought me up there. Uh, and it wasn't just her. My adoptive mom not wanting me or my child in the presence of my biological mother called children's services, and because she didn't know my mother, threw me under the bus. But my mother did not aid in that at all. She ran along with it and threw even more allegations on me, and they took my daughter from the hospital from me. They told me that if I came back up to the hospital, my daughter would not be there, and that if I showed up there, they would charge me with criminal trespassing. And so I didn't go back. And then we had what's called a staff meeting a couple days later at Lucas County Children's Services. And they told me that they were charging me with neglect because I didn't return to the hospital to feed my child.
Wow. So
they tricked me.
So, but okay. And so I'm getting like, dang. So basically, Dorothy is so basically she was holding because I'm trying to think like, well, damn, okay. After that, okay. Did y'all get that right there? That way we did y'all in the chat get what Tiara said?
Does that sound right to you?
That story don't make sense, and it don't sound like her. It sounds like a white lady. It sounds like a whole different person.
A light. It gives me light.
It gives me like a biracial woman.
Yeah,
like a biracial woman, and the mannerism, how
different.
she's talking ain't the same person that was just talking on that news.
Thank you.
It's
Her
not.
voice sounds softer.
Yeah.
And even you're gonna hear even when she speaks to the kids and stuff, it's like,
something up. That's definitely not the same person.
Yeah, some faking going on or something.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna push play.
Yeah. Before I go to the next thing, because at the end of the day, Tiara and Dorothy it wasn't a good relationship from what I'm hearing from the private conversations that I had with Tiara. And did y'all get it? Okay, Melissa says she got it because I know that was one question. Thanks, Melissa and Maurice. Real quick, Jazz, do you want to come in on something real quick before I go further? Is it something you might want to,
Yeah. So to piggyback off what you said, I know a lot of people that have been tuning into this are from different states. In Ohio, as sad as it is, in Ohio, all it takes is one allegation for children's services to step in. The sad part about that is they go after the parents that are active in their kids' lives, the parents that are willing to take care of their children. And they also leave children. They also leave the children who are being abused. They overlook those cases. It's backwards in Ohio, and it's very sad to have this going on. For people to say, "Oh, it's not that easy," it is, and it happens more often than people realize.
Wow. Okay. And I got Ruth Abel say grandmother is just pure evil. That's what I get out of this case when I look at and think about the Dorothy lady. I can't call her the grandmother, but when I think about these alleged text messages that Dorothy was putting out during this process, you got people, well, why wasn't Tiara? Okay. How often did you see Kei'Mani? Okay, due to the fact, let's say once Dorothy got her, how often did she let you see your child? Because what I see is that she was trying to use her as like a bargaining chip, like holding her over your head and a lot of people saying I would have did this, I would have did that, did this, and
So,
from what and from what what we spoke a little bit is you wanted to do everything legally to try to get your baby back,
so
right?
yeah, and I'm not. I have some experience, but I don't have a lot of experience when it comes to law. I did
Mm-hmm.
4 years of pre-law, but if you don't finish those last 8 years, it's a lot of information and a lot of insight that you do miss. So there's a lot of things that I did not know how to do legally. There's a lot of legal jargon that I never picked up on. And there's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of rights that I was not made aware of that I had. Um, so I've always tried to go the legal route when it comes to my child. I've always
Mm-hmm.
wanted my child. When they took my child from me, because it was about a week before they had that initial staff meeting, um, I cried every single day, all day. I could not watch a diaper commercial. I could not watch an Infamil formula commercial. I could not go outside
Wow.
without me bawling my eyes out because
Mm-hmm.
someone at some point throughout every day was like, "Where's your baby at? I thought you were pregnant." And how do I
Wow.
tell these people they took my baby from me?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but as far as the amount of time that I got to see my child, um, it was honestly very rare. I probably only saw my child, physically saw her for about a month out of each year. I would take trips because obviously I have a life here in Cleveland that I've built. And I built this life so that I could secure a life for me and my children. And that consists of me working, that consists of me going to school, that consists of my own personal relationships, that consists of me networking and different stuff like that to try to build the situation that my kids would need for them to be stable here. Um, so I probably saw her for about a month out of each year. I would take time off or off of school and off of work and different stuff, and I would go down there, physically go down there, and I would
Mm-hmm.
have to stay. I would have to, also network with my family members in order to secure a place to stay while I was down there because I never felt comfortable staying in my mother's home. And that was simply because me and my mother, we've never had a great relationship. I can't speak on the relationship that she
Okay.
would have or could have had with Kei'Mani, but I know me and my mother, we never got along. My family members have always said that they felt like my mother was jealous of me. So I didn't stay in her household simply because of that. I didn't want to cause chaos in the home where my daughter was living. Um,
Mm.
but yeah, whenever Kei'Mani would do something that my mother didn't like, or if my mother asked me to do something and I didn't do
Mm-hmm.
it, she would cut off contact for us. She would block contact, whether it was taking the
Mm.
phone that I bought from for Kei'Mani from her, or blocking me from her phone and Kei'Mani's phone, telling people to keep a close eye so that Kei'Mani's not sneaking and talking to me, different things like that. The only time I ever was really able to see my child, because there are times when I went down there with
Mm-hmm.
plans to see my child, and she made sure that didn't happen. Um, the only time that she actually let me see my kid is when I came with like a full card full of money to put stuff in the house and buy her things or buy Kei'Mani things and fill up the house with food, all that type of stuff, even though I'm not staying
Mm.
there.
Mm. Wow. Okay, is it true that you had to pay child support to Dorothy also?
So my mother
'Cause-
officially got custody My mother officially got custody the end of August 2024, and I started paying child support from there. Um, when it came time, because I know this was another question, people were asking, like, what took mom so long to show up? Um, I had just, I had just paid my mom $900 in child support. Um, and I had some catching up to do. I'm still, as of now, there's 26 and some change that hasn't been posted because I ran out of money. But I had just bought like $500 worth of clothes and shoes, Stanley Cups, jewelry, different stuff like that for my daughter. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then I had spent $900 to put towards her child support. And then I gave my daughter $100, Kei'Mani. I gave her $100 for her birthday. And her dad was the one that drove her down here to me on the 15th. And he was
Mm-hmm.
complaining about he hadn't ate all day and his tank was low. So I gave him $60. Here's 20 to go eat for
Mm-hmm.
you and Imani, and then here's 40 for your tank so you can get back home. So
Mm-hmm.
I was flat broke when I found out what was going on with Kei'Mani being missing. Not only that, but I had also just spent a gang of money too because my youngest daughter's birthday was St. Patty's Day, the day before she supposedly went missing. So all of my money was spent. I was rubbing pennies together trying to come up with a way to get up there.
Hmm. Okay. I'm a let me ask you something. How what was your conversations like with Kei'Mani? Like the last time you seen her and like any other time, what would she would say? Like, mommy, like what can you give us just a
I
brief
mean,
summary? Like what?
honestly, and honestly, most of the time that I talked to Kei'Mani, it was just her
Mm-hmm.
telling me about like what was going on in her life. Like, oh, I joined the basketball team. I'm getting really good at it. Oh, she came out to me, and told me that she thought she was gay. I had a conversation with her about that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
she told me about like the video games that she's been playing, the new friends that she has,
Mm-hmm.
things that she's done with her, like different activities that she did with her dad or or my mom or whatever. Um, and that's why I'm kind of like I'm still very much confused to this day as to why she didn't discuss with me what was going on inside that home or wherever the trauma was going on because
Mm-hmm.
I've always been a person. I keep open lines of communication with my kids. I
Mm-hmm.
spent most of my life trying to be better than those that birthed me and those that raised me. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I remember the things that I went through, and I never wanted my kids to go through that. I feel like I paid the price so that they wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
have to, right? So
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to raising my kids, I keep open lines of communication. I'm not the parent that when my kid is talking to me and they ask a question that might not be appropriate for them, I'm not the parent that's like, "Hey, stay in a child's place." I'm not the
Mm-hmm.
parent that's going to tell you respect your elders if they're not respecting you. I talk to
Can I
my kids about
interject?
everything. I always give my kids the utmost support, the utmost love.
Mm-hmm.
If my daughter would have came to me and been like, "Hey, this is happening and I don't feel safe," I would have sat down with her and we would have come up with a plan. We
Okay.
would have gotten her out of there.
Mm-hmm. Wow. And
Now, is it safe to say that she's trying to paint this
Narrative.
yeah, and it's like you didn't know what was going on with your child because you weren't involved in your child's life. Like it's like
Yeah.
you try to say, "Oh, I just sent $500 and I just paid my child support and I just gave Kei'Mani
Mhm.
$100." But in reality, you didn't really have a relationship with Kei'Mani and you didn't even know what was going on because and he's gonna get to it. He's gonna or is it I don't know if it was in this interview, but somebody asked her in an interview, about the bruises and how the teachers had made reports to CPS, and others had, you know, was saying that the grandmother was abusing her and asked, did she know? It's like she just
Right. And then the other thing where she's like, she said something about being in Ohio and when kids are abused and how
yeah,
that goes. I live in Ohio. That's my hometown. So like I know that's a lie. If you get any call to them, they're gonna go and check with the parents to see certain things. They're not just gonna attack you automatically unless they have a reason to. They're gonna send a police or whatever out to see what's going on. So what did you have going on for them? And even she said what they took her child, kept saying they took her child from her, they kidnapped
yeah.
whatever. What
But
you had going on? You
she's
said you
trying.
was in law school. You should have been stable. If you had law school and her story not adding up in all type
It's
of
not
ways.
adding up. Even the part though where she's like, oh, like the grandma convinced her to come out there so she could have the baby,
Mm-hmm.
see her grandchild being born, and then she somehow persuade. I don't know if she's
Yeah.
saying she persuaded her to give her to her from the hospital, or it just doesn't make sense if
And
they.
who lives in Cleveland? Her, the mom. Tierra lives in Cleveland.
I
Cause
think
she keeps
Tierra
saying
lives.
Cleveland.
So the grandma lives in Toledo,
Yeah,
Ohio.
but she keeps
Tierra
saying
lives somewhere
Cleveland.
else. So how far is Cleveland from
That's
Toledo?
why I said it's not far at all. Especially if you get on a Greyhound, it's like what $25 ticket. That's
Because
not
I
far at
know that
all.
the grandma mentioned in one of her interviews that it was a birthday. It was Kei'Mani's birthday one year, and she was saying that the mom was saying she didn't have transportation, so the other sister went and picked her up, and she hadn't seen her since then. And I think that's supposed to be when Keilani turned 11. Kei'Mani turned 11 or something like that.
Yeah,
So
I'm
it's
like
kind of
it's
like
small.
a lot
Her
of
story
victim
not adding
blaming
up.
back and forth, like.
Yeah,
But
that's not adding up. I'm like, Ohio is small, especially those certain places is small. Like Akron and Toledo is kind of right by each other. And the Cleveland's in them is right on the other side of Akron, so it's right by each other.
yeah, let me finish playing because this lady, it ain't got this lady. I don't know.
And one thing I will say is I see where her teacher came out and said that and even the mom even said it, you know, said that they put what CPS on her. What a teacher, you know, she said twice. And you know, Dorothy, you know, yeah, they came to the house 7 months ago, you know, and I thought that was crazy.
And I wasn't
Where
aware of any of that.
okay, and so you wasn't aware of it, okay.
No.
I mean, and that's it's crazy how that system up there, I think, you know, because people, I think they can sit up here and try to fault you and say this, say that, but no, at the end of the day, she did not do this to Kei'Mani then.
I
Okay, we
mean,
can sit up here and just and the mom of this, the mom of that, the mom of that, but you know, there's no evidence that the mom was there with the dad and them doing any of this awful, and I'm trying not to curse,
I was
mess that what
gonna say
happened
I'm
to
far
Kei'Mani at
from
the end of the day.
I was gonna say I'm far from perfect. There's definitely times where I've called
Mm-hmm.
multiple of my friends, including Jazz, and I'm like, I feel like I'm failing my kids just because I feel like I'm not doing enough, or I have my shortfalls. We all do. I'm not perfect by far. I never proclaim to be, but I do
Mm-hmm.
my best.
Okay.
Can I interject real quick? I have
Come on
something
in,
to
Jay.
say.
Okay.
Okay, so I would like to say, because I've been seeing this a lot in the chat, she has fought. One thing about Cuyahoga County Division of Family Services,
Mm-hmm.
there was a caseworker set up. Visitation is based off of what the caseworker and the court goes off of. If you did listen very closely to what Dorothy said, that she gained legal custody a year prior to that.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Yeah.
temporary custody and there's legal custody. When a child is placed in temporary custody, certain things are set up for that child. Either a permanent placement, which is where legal custody comes in at,
Mm-hmm.
or a more permanent living situation. I have personally myself have seen Tierra call countless lawyers.
Mm-hmm.
Every house that I've seen Tierra I've been to, there was always a room for Kei'Mani there. There was nowhere that I felt like she failed at all. She tried the best that she can. When you have a child in that situation, all you could do is
Mm-hmm.
call. Sometimes waiting on a call back is not enough. She went in person. She went and got a lawyer. She spoke to caseworkers. I felt like she did everything she really could do. I don't know what people had expected her to do. Run down to the building and act crazy. That's not going to
Mm-hmm.
get anything done. But I've seen this for years. Years.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Wow. It's and so let me see. Let me see what I got here. To the person that I guess just came in, yeah, Darnell is the biological dad. Dorothy is the biological grandmother, and she is Tiara's biological mom. And they do not have a great relationship. And let's don't lose the fact of trying to bash the mom and miss out on the real issue of what the grandmother and this evil ass dad that's locked up done. We can sit up and say the mom of this, the mom of that, and then the mom of this. Please refer back to Dorothy and Darnell also in the same sentence. Please don't, so please have, come on, y'all. Don't just do that. I mean, you right to have your opinion, okay? It's cool to have an opinion. But don't discuss
But
me
I
by
want you
just trying to go after the mother when we know what the hell this dad gonna allegedly did to Kei'Mani. She is no longer
I
here,
want to add this to
definitely behind
say,
them. Okay, go ahead,
Mr.
Jen.
Black,
Mm-hmm.
that after seeing her try, she didn't stop trying. She kept trying. I literally known Tiara for almost 13 years.
Okay.
Kei'Mani was a child at the time. I did have the pleasure of meeting her other children, and she tried. It's hard when you see someone very close to you. It don't have to be a best friend. It could be a cousin. It's
Mm-hmm.
hard to see someone go through something and you can't fix the problem for them, but be beside them during that time. She has tried. She has spoken to caseworkers. She is speaking to judges. She really tried, and I feel like the system is unfair at
Mm-hmm.
times. And I bring that up and I say that very strongly because I'm tired. I'm from Ohio as well. I'm tired of seeing the news where it's kids being abused and beaten at the hand of someone that was in a household and they do nothing. And it's sad when
Mm-hmm.
you see reports of caseworkers being there, caseworkers dismissing things, similar to Kei'Mani's situation. But they're so quick to interject when their child is really not in danger. When you have a mother that, hey, the mother might be going through PTSD or something like that, or post.
I feel like her friend is enabling her and making excuses for her because
Mm-hmm.
the things that was going on with her daughter, if she was a present mom, whether her child lived with the grandmother or not, if she was frequently in her life, she would known some of these things. Like
Yep.
even when it gets to the father, she's gonna paint him in a good light, but he was just arrested for killing your child
Right.
or
And,
unallowed.
and
I'm sorry.
oh, go ahead.
No, you could go.
Am I tripping, or do her friend and her sound exactly like the same person? Just now she's the friend and she's talking louder. Like it's not like the same person, but she's talking a little louder than what she was talking when she's supposed to be here. I don't know.
I don't
Is
know,
that they
but
talk
I
exactly the same? They voices exactly the same. Their mannerism exactly the same. Now she's talking louder. That's
I
weird.
don't know, but I know that I have another video of her on another interview, and her voice sounds much more deeper in the demeanor. Because even in that interview, it was like she was laughing, and it's like stuff she's saying in this interview. She didn't really say in that interview. She said something about a meeting at Children Family Services, and she was saying dumb shit because like why would you bring your car title? What does that have to do with anything? And some other documentation, and she said that the workers took it and ripped it up right in her face and continued on with the meeting. It's like what? Like you know what I'm saying? Stuff just don't add up. I don't know if this person that's doing this interview, if they're doing this for her to paint her in a good light, because this is a totally different person. I don't care what nobody says. Compared to the one that we already seen on video. just the way she carried herself. Like she don't, the one that we seen on that news interview, she don't give a lawyer degree or whatever she said, paralegal or something. She don't give that. Not that other one. But I'm gonna continue on.
Postpartum, which is true because some women do have that at pregnancy and are so quick to take them. So where's that energy with these children that keep popping up like this? That keep popping up like this, and you do nothing until it's too late. That's draining and stressful, and that right there is a big issue with the system at this moment. Because
The system is broken.
Kei'Mani,
It's
her
been
life mattered.
broken.
She mattered. She's very important. And there's other children. And with this conversation, is to help other children as well. If these children have no voices and the ones that are fighting, oh my gosh, you're not trying hard enough. It's easy to say what you would do until you're put in that position. When your back is against the wall and you have overused your resources, what do you do at that point? And that's what I feel like people are failing to realize. Oh, well, I would have did this, I would have did that. You wouldn't know what you have done. Once you've gone through every person that you have gone through, right? The caseworker, the supervisor, the CEO, it don't matter. You go through all them people and you get the same answers. And then what? And then what do?
Yes.
You don't stop trying.
Good point, Jazz. Okay. Well, I got a question up here on the stream from Tina Fitzgerald. Do you think Dorothy has something to do with this?
I do. I do think she had something to do with it. Because her story's not making sense. No part of the story makes sense. Not from the time that she claims that my daughter went missing, not from the time she claims that she got home and noticed she was missing. Her actions afterwards don't make sense. She never actually conducted a search and rescue. Nothing. I think she's very much a part of this.
Wow, Dorothy.
The one time that she posted and said that she was going to do a search and rescue, everybody that showed up ended up at her house with blue gloves on, taking stuff out of that house, including my daughter's bed. So, no, I very much believe that my mother played a part. Not only that, but there is camera footage, which the detectives have, of her dumping a suitcase full of clothes in Navarre Park, which is where I happened to be when we got the call saying that my mother had called and said that my daughter was in the house on Miami.
And it's just, and the part that just had me just like.
And I'm with him on that. Like, okay, because you already heard she said that the mom was seen putting a Family Dollar bag with clothes in it in the trash, right? Now you got her saying that she was seen, people were seen with blue gloves carrying stuff out of the house, her bed, and then now she's went and dumped a suitcase of clothes in a park. I don't know. I'm kind of feeling like she kind of is trying to paint this picture of the mom, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because I don't know if you've seen yesterday. So there was an estate involved, right?
Yeah.
And the reason why the funeral was on hold was because they was waiting to see who was going to be awarded the estate for the estate.
I just seen that.
So the grandma was awarded the estate. So what I'm thinking is that the mom was probably trying to paint this picture of the grandma for her to be investigated, or you know what I'm saying? So she wouldn't get the estate. That's what I'm kind of thinking.
Yep. And it sounds like an alibi too. How they stories is. It sounds like an alibi. You putting everything on her, like blaming, like, what about your part? Certain things. And you got her story keeps switching up. I don't know what is going on.
I don't know what to believe. For real, for real. Like, wow.
Like, how they ain't got no handcuffs like on Dorothy ass. Like, it's just
real quick, having spoke to my lawyer, and my lawyer having spoke to the prosecutor, he explained it in a way He said that the jails in Lucas County are entirely too overpopulated. They are far over capacity, and they don't have enough COs to be able to keep her alive long enough for her to make it to trial.
What?
Hmm.
What?
Damn,
But
Ohio.
she was instructed not to leave the city, not to leave the state, which she did both. And
Mm.
she is still very much under investigation as of now.
Okay. My other questions: did any detectives reach out to talk to you?
No, so I have been trying to reach Detective Kincaid, who was the lead detective of the missing persons unit. I reached out to her at least a good 10 times. Um,
Her voice
I
just
never got
switched
in
up.
touch with her. I was never able to have a sit down with her or anyone else that was
Hmm.
working the case when it was a missing persons. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it is now a Detective Nunez, or Noonie, I'm not sure, but she is over the homicide department, and I've been trying to reach out to them as well, and I still have not had anybody reach out to me. No TPD has reached out to me in regards to what's been going on with my child. Regardless of the fact that I am not the legal custodian, I am still her mother.
Hmm. Wow. That's weird. Detectives ain't reaching out. Do you think Dorothy got is you think she might be a reason? Because Dorothy's a little slickster or some shit, man. But
They trying to.
I mean, I do
I ain't
believe that
saying grandma
I
innocent,
was gonna
but
say I do believe that she has friends
Yeah,
in high
they lying
places.
about a whole lot.
mm-hmm.
Even if she's not in a high place herself, I do believe
Mm-hmm.
that she could very likely have friends in high places. I'm not sure, but the happenings and the inner workings of this case isn't making sense.
Okay. Another question. Why do you think Dorothy and this guy, do you think her and the dad, well, I ain't gonna call him the dad, but Darnell would do something like this to Kamani? Do you have a thought in your mind like why they would even do something this damn evil to her?
I have not even the slightest clue. My kid was a sweet kid. She's got a good spirit. She's a joyful person. I know even because there's other things that have happened in her life. Hold on, baby. Yes.
What time is it?
What time is it?
Yeah.
It's 7:40. Do you have somewhere to be?
I don't see at all.
Oh, well, maybe you should take the drawstring bag off your head, Mama. Come on. You can see now?
Yeah.
All right. All right, baby, go play, okay? Be safe.
And don't run away.
No, don't run. I don't want you to fall.
You don't want me to fall.
No, I don't want you to hurt. I don't want you to fall and get hurt.
You know, hurt and get a boo-boo.
Yeah,
And they call you go play with after.
I will. Will's up there. Do you want to go play with Will?
Yeah, let's see.
Okay. I
All right,
love
let me
you.
see what
I'll
else
talk
I
to you in
got
a
over
little
here.
bit. All right.
All right, Jackie Phillips say, so what's going on with the funeral arrangements?
Um, as of
Thanks.
right now, I'm just gonna say as of right now, neither me nor my mother have control of my daughter's estate until we make it. Okay, until we make it into probate court, nothing is happening
Can you put it down?
as of now.
Mm-hmm.
And put it down.
Okay. Let me see. Beverly Love says Black Dorothy may think she's slick, but she could use a good greasing behind bars. I know that's right. What do you think about these alleged text messages? What do y'all think about these alleged text messages? Then I'm gonna come to you in a few minutes, Jazz. Okay.
Okay,
But
sure.
what do you think about that? Or either you as a okay, yeah. What do you think about these text messages, Tiara?
Um, I don't know too much about the text messages.
Mm-hmm.
I know that from what I saw, she was texting herself. Had she been texting someone else, the responses would have been on opposite sides. I know they were saying that there was second, a second phone or something where the responses were on either side. But if that was the case, you could have just screenshot, screen recorded that and sent it versus sending everything individually. My mom's not stupid. She knows how to do those things. I think it was a matter of her texting herself, trying to come up with a different narrative and a different storyline as to
Wow.
where Kei'Mani disappeared to.
Wow. She said she got off work. The gas was on the stove,
Yeah,
and the clothes here, and all of
so
this.
okay, so let me break that down for you guys really fast. Because
Okay.
originally she said she got off at 7, which would have been around the time that my daughter was supposed to leave for school. Then she said she didn't get off until 9. Then she said she didn't get off until she didn't get well, she said she didn't get off until 9, and I guess she didn't get home until 10 o'clock. These are the issues that I have with what she said about how she found the house. Number one, when I got there, the day that I got there, after we did our search party, my mother had been released from being interrogated, and
Okay.
I caught her walking into her house. So after she walked in, I walked in behind her, and I was like, "Mom," and she gave me an attitude. She's like, "What's up?" And I said, "Mom, I don't know what's going on. I don't understand what's going on. Mama, where is my baby?" And then she decided to hug me and was like, "Oh, baby, it's okay." Right?
Mm.
So I ended up
Wow.
asking my mother while we were in her house, I said, "Ma," I said, "when you came home from work, was the door open or was it unlocked?" She said, "No, it wasn't open. It was just unlocked." First thing, I'm going to tell y'all because I know how my mother is. I'm not going to say my daughter was raised, but my daughter was trained that whenever she leaves out the house, because she has her own set of keys, if she
Mm-hmm.
would have left on her own, she would have locked that door. Period.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way around that. If my daughter would have left that house on her own, she would have locked that door. That would have been my first reason to call the fucking police. Number
Mm.
two, Number two, she said that my daughter's panties were in the dining room and her pants were in the living room. My daughter, she is a teenager. She has been dealing with some insecurities. My daughter does not get dressed anywhere except for in the bathroom or in her bedroom. And if someone is in the room with her, regardless of who it is, she will not get changed. So the fact that you saw my daughter's clothes anywhere outside of the bathroom or the bedroom is yet another problem. Yet another reason I would have called the police. But then she said that the rug in front of the couch where my daughter's keys and glasses were left was kicked
Mm-hmm.
up. My daughter cannot see without her glasses. She's not going to leave that house without her glasses.
Wow.
If the rug is kicked up, that is a clear sign of a struggle. I'm calling the police. And the very last thing, my mom smokes like a fucking chimney. She claimed that when she walked into the house, the gas pilots were on the stove. The last call that my daughter placed was at 1:45 in the morning, and that was to her dad. And according to him, he never received it. So if
Mm-hmm.
my daughter went missing at approximately 1:45 and you didn't get home until about 10 o'clock, that's about a good 8 hours that that gas stove would have been on. 9 times out
Ooh.
of 10, knowing my mother, she would have walked into that house smoking. Baby, you
Ooh,
would have
okay.
blew the fuck up.
Would have blew the house up.
You would
Okay,
have blew the
wow.
fuck up. Not only
Mm.
that, but seeing as the door was closed and simply unlocked, when she opened that door, all the gas that's been released It would have knocked her out.
Yeah. Hmm.
I don't believe her. I'm sorry. I don't fucking believe her.
Mm-hmm. I don't. I know I don't. I know I don't. So what type of how long was, not to change the subject, but how long was Darnell taking his ass over there to Dorothy house?
I
Like,
couldn't tell you. I could not tell you. If it was not, and I'm going to say this, and I need people to understand again, me and my mom did not have a good relationship.
okay.
If you ask any of my cousins, they will tell you they've always felt like my mother was jealous of me. I just thought like, okay, maybe I'm not the daughter that I think I am, you know. But when it came to me and my mom, if it was not about my child, I did not communicate with her. I didn't have a reason to talk to her. We're not friends. We're not cool.
Mm-hmm.
When it came to my child's father, if it was not about my daughter, you cannot call my phone. I don't
Okay.
fuck with you like that. And you're in a whole relationship. There's no other reason you should be calling me besides where our daughter is concerned. So I
Hmm.
don't know what they had going on behind the scenes. I have not even the slightest clue.
Okay.
Now, see, this is why I say I think this is somebody different, because in the another interview, she said
Mm,
something totally different about the father.
for
Uh,
real.
I have these. I think we heard enough of
It
this.
seemed like she worrying about everything else, but every time he mentioned Darnell, then you switch it to, oh, me and my mom, and talk about your mom again.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm. That 304 is something else. 'Cause she, and I feel like that's not her. Like, I feel like it's not her, the way the girl talk, the voice. She didn't change her voice a couple times, just talking, sitting there.
I'm trying to figure out how would she do that though. You know what I'm
I feel
saying?
like even the friends they sound exactly like the same person when she's talking low. And then she talk about she was talking to that little kid, and then her voice changed again. Like, hold on, what is going on? Somebody disguising in disguise.
Okay, so here is the can you guys see that? Let me see if I can blow this up. How can I blow this up? Okay, well, I'll just read it. So it says, this is about business. If you respect my amount, I will return it to you right now. And in this, I guess this is supposed to be the grandma responding, saying what? And then it is, they say, that's right. Here I'm asking for the amount of $4,000. That's the business you can have with me. And then they says, so tell me if you're interested in reaching an agreement with me, or I will take her to the border. And then I guess she's saying, responding and saying, send me a picture of her unarmed. You have my amount so we can fix it. You have my, okay, so they repeated this twice. And then it says, how do we know you have her? Send us a picture of her unarmed and we can discuss the $4,000. So that's one. And then the person is responding saying Kei'Mani is fine, okay. And then she says, give me your location, or I don't know if this is the person saying give me your location. And then the person, somebody else responds and says, I need to talk to her, please. I'm assuming this is the grandma. um who is in charge of the situation to agree and meet in a public place to give it to him? I am. Meet where? Look here. What happened is that my people picked it up. What I'm looking for is to return it to you. Like it. What the fuck are you talking about? It. Anyway, as long as
Girl.
you don't involve the police in this, okay? Can you meet can you meet me at McDonald's on Cherry Street? How long does it take to get there? You have my word. If you can't meet me at the McDonald's on Cherry Street, then I won't contact the place. I'm just passing through. I'm booked, or no, I'm hitting there now. Those text messages don't even make sense.
You're right.
And then I guess people are saying that she's on the run, like she's fleed to Indiana or some shit. So I don't know. Like this is crazy. Like this whole case is just crazy.
It's
Like
crazy and it's sad. It's sad.
yeah.
Like that's a little kid. Y'all really, I don't understand what's wrong with these people these days.
Yeah. I'm trying to find this other video where she said, because I want to make sure that this is the same person talking. Because I
Yes,
swear,
please find that.
hold on 1 second. Let me see.
We got a lot of comments. I see y'all feeling the same way we feeling.
My baby's
Can you hear
midwife
that?
and my doula's number, all of that.
Yep, I hear it.
I brought them my lease. I brought them the title to my car. I brought them W-2s from all of my jobs to try to like prove to them that the things that were being told about me were false. And the last time I gave it to them was during what staff meeting. I gave it to them the last time in that staff meeting, and they tore it up in my face and threw it in the trash and continued on with the meeting like nothing had happened. So,
but you said she never went home with you though, right? She never got a chance to like go home. You just gave birth to her.
She goes low, like she was in it, like she was away from the
Took
phone.
from the hospital. Okay, so my next question, I don't want to hold you into too long. I know you got a lot to do when you're busy right now. I understand. So they took her from you. Now, during this time that when they took her from you, the first person that she went with was the godmother, correct?
Yeah, they gave the godmother. They gave my godmother kinship care over my daughter when she was 1.5 years.
Okay. And how long did she stay with the godmother?
I'm not exactly sure. I believe she stayed there solely up until she was like 5 or 6, and then they started bouncing her back and forth between the two.
Okay, so this basically lines up with what the grandmother said, that she was there off and on for about 5 years. Would that be fair to say?
My daughter's about to be 14 tomorrow. No. No, that's still not accounting for, that's accounting for like 3 to 4 years.
Okay, so that timeline is just a little bit conflicted. Okay, so during this time of her being there, how many years did you fight for your daughter after she was born?
Oh, I've always fought. Hey, I'm on the phone.
Do you see the difference?
Do not open that door.
Do you see the difference?
No. You want to go out there? You can go out there and play if you want to. But I can't have you playing in here. But no, I've always fought for my daughter. I've fought for my daughter since the day that I had her.
Give me 1 second. I pressed the button. I'm sorry. So say that again, because I pressed my mixer. My apologies. Say that one more time for me.
I said I've always been fighting for my daughter. That fight has never ended. Shit. In June, my mother was supposed to be signing a third-party custody transfer so that I could get my baby back because she said that she did not want her anymore. She said my daughter was stealing, my daughter was lying. I don't know that any of that is factual, and I don't believe it. But she said that my daughter was doing a whole bunch of stuff, and she just couldn't take it anymore. She wanted me to get my daughter. We were supposed to be going to court for that to give me custody of my daughter back because every place that I've always had space for my daughter. I've always made sure I had means to take care of it.
Right. So this abuse, what do you know about this abuse? Because one thing that I'm noticing is that there's a fair consensus from multiple family members that she was getting hit on by the grandmother. Did you know anything about this, and how long did you know, and what steps did you take outside of, fighting for custody?
Did a very good job. I think that was so that they would be able to do what it was that they wanted to do, how they wanted to do it. Again, I still have my parental rights, but because they are guardian, because they are custodian, if they don't give me the go ahead, I can't do anything.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, did you hear about the abuse? Like, how did you know anything about the abuse that the grandmother was doing?
I didn't hear about the abuse until the only thing that I've seen, because I've never even seen my mother hit my daughter other than like a spoon, like a wooden spoon to her hand. I haven't witnessed any of that, and I think that was for a reason.
Okay, and she is your biological mother, because that was in question as well, correct?
That is my biological mother, unfortunately. How they ended up, listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. Y'all are so loud. I cannot even think straight. Can y'all please? That's why I said go out there and play with them so that they can scream and yell and holler as much as they want. Baby, my head, it's a lot of stuff going on in my head. I focus. Can y'all please step out? Please. I'm not trying to be mean to y'all, but I need y'all out. Please. Go. I'm sorry.
Listen, you're okay. I'm a mother. I don't care about none of that. You do you. It's okay. Go ahead.
Hey there. No need to adjust your TV, or more likely your phone. You're watching a recycled commercial.
There we go.
Well, is there any other questions?
No, I was saying as far as the abuse and things of that nature, you said that you didn't know anything about it. You just knew about the spoon and stuff like that. That's what you was explaining.
Yeah. About anything. The only thing I've ever seen my mother do to my daughter was hit her with the spoon. But I've recently met a bunch of my family that I didn't know existed, and they didn't know I existed. Apparently, they've been trying to figure out where this light-skinned baby came from.
Wow.
But just meeting
what does that have to do with
they
anything?
have stories on top of stories on top of stories. People that have lived with my mother for months or years on end are telling me what they've witnessed. So
can you explain your sister? Apparently your sister went on the news and she said that you never around and you only came around because you were fussing about the child support and $900. Can you explain why she would go on the news and portray it that way, or why she would say that you were never around?
I don't deal with my sister, first off.
Mm-hmm.
I don't talk to her if she don't talk to me. I raised all my little sisters and brothers. I was the protector. I was the provider for them when we were in foster care, and I put myself in harm's way to make sure that they didn't have to go through the things that I went through. I don't talk to our family is not tight knit, so I don't really speak to her that often. But that is not the same energy that she had when she called me and told me that my baby was missing, because she's the one that let me know. I had no idea. I don't do social media.
Understandable. Now, there's another misconception, or some that's getting people a little bit confused as well, is that people were going around, and I'm just here because I've been watching it from the very beginning. So don't think I'm just someone that just hopped of it and don't know anything. People are saying that is Kei'Mani, is this her biological? Okay, and would you know why people are saying it's someone else? They were saying that the grandmother said it's not, or something like that.
So they said that my mom said that. Where she got that from, I'm not sure. But I mean, shit. People are also saying that my mom and my daughter's dad have been sleeping together this whole time too. So I don't know.
And you just learned that they were dealing with each other on a personal note. That's crazy, and I'm so sorry.
If it like the only time I really talk to my mother or my child's father is if it's concerning my child. If you tell me my kid needs something, I got it. If you tell me my kid wants to do something, I got it. If my kid is short on something, or shit, if the house is short on something where my baby is residing, I'm gonna make sure I take care of it. Mm-hmm. There has been time my mother has called me legitimately 3 days in a row. The last time she did this, I was homeless.
Mute yourself, Nutbuster. Mute yourself.
She called me the first day.
Okay. Go ahead.
There was the last time she called me and was asking for money back to back was when I was homeless. I was literally living in my car, had nowhere to go. And she called me one day and was like, hey, I need like $600. We ain't got no food in this house. I said, okay. She called me the next day. Hey, I need $300. We need to wash clothes. Okay. She called me the next day. Hey, I need $100. I'm trying to do something for Kei'Mani's birthday. Okay. She called me the day after. Hey, can you send me $60? I'm $60 short for her cake. No, I can't, because now I'm flat broke.
Wow. So it was just
seeing these are the discrepancies. Like you homeless, but you got mm-hmm. 600, then 100. So that's a total of $900,000 that you're able to send somebody, right. But you're homeless. You even stand in a hotel room, you're living in your car, and you got $1,000. Exactly. Why are you homeless? You saying like it's like she's trying to paint this picture that she was being a mother. Mm-hmm. The mom was taking advantage of a situation, and I just don't think that's
and
the case.
Also, on this interview is totally a different person than what we just heard. You could tell.
Yeah, it's a totally different person. You can tell by the voice, but it's kind of like the same narrative. So I'm wondering if she had like her friends like speak for her
right now. It sounds like two people. When it get lower, like you can barely hear when it cuts out, or like they muted or whatever they doing.
Yeah,
and then it switch to a different voice.
Like away from the phone.
It sound like two different people talking to this lady, and they in the same room, probably on speaker, and they're like muted out real quick. It fades out, and then it's a whole different person talking. they playing in our face.
Call me and tell me my. It's always been about money. Wow. But regardless of that, like I said, my only concern has been I don't care about the money. Money comes and goes.
Yeah. So they were saying, so this house that your mother lived in, I've heard that your mother was on drugs. I've heard that it was pedophiles and pimps and crackheads living in there. Was she treating this house like a boarding house for the community? What do you know about that, of the people that were coming in and out this household?
Want to boost your monthly income with top performing stocks? Then why not join my free WhatsApp?
There we
go. I didn't know about the crackheads and all of that mess until after I got here. I only found out about Wayne, my little brother's dad, staying at my mother's house when he got out, because my dad called me and told me. And I asked her why he was there, and I told her that I was uncomfortable with him being there because he just did 22, 23 years and ain't seen a woman. I don't want him nowhere near my kid.
And he's a registered sex offender, correct?
That was staying at that house, from what I knew, was family.
No, I'm saying, but Wayne, he was a registered sex offender. That's what he was in the penitentiary for, right?
No, Wayne was in the penitentiary because he killed somebody over 50 cents in a slice of pizza. So, mental health, top tier, you know?
Wow. Okay, so now that all of this is out and things of that nature, right? I know that the day before she went missing, she was at your house because you had the birthday party for your other daughter. And you said that you gave her some money and then you also gave the father some money. Now, here's what kind of had me confused is because they were saying that you really didn't get a chance to see your baby for a lot of years. Is that correct?
You hear me?
I can hear you. Go ahead.
You hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. No, that's incorrect. My daughter was at my house on the 15th, Saturday the 15th. Her and her sister had already spent the week up here together. Because I have a 4-year-old.
And that's a black girl.
She was up here for a whole week before that. My daughter's dad got permission from my mother to bring Kei'Mani to me on Saturday the 15th. That had nothing to do with no birthdays. I don't know where people keep getting that from, but that's not what I said. She came up to see me because, again, I'm paying child support. I still have my parental rights. So that was my visit. But she sat with me hours. You know what I'm saying? Because I guess my mother wanted her home before the night was over for whatever reason. But they stayed for 2 hours. We played the video game. We joked, we played. We had a good time. We had a good time.
Okay, Spicy, I did say that. I'm sorry to interrupt. I did say that because I knew Zaza's birthday was on the 17th. And I was just like asking you because you were getting stuff together for her birthday on the weekend. So yeah, I did say that.
Okay, it was the weekend. Okay. And so he came and took her there and then took her back home. Now, do you guys even, let me ask you this, maybe you would know. Do you guys even know if she even ever made it back home?
I don't know. From what I was told, she was home because she went to school on Monday. The kids at her school vouched, yes, she was here. And she walked with us to school. We had lunch and she walked with us after school. She went home.
Okay. Wow. All righty.
There's that she walks to school with. If she doesn't get on the bus, group of kids that she walks home with if she doesn't get on the bus.
Okay. Now, can you give us some clarity on this timeline? When was she officially reported missing? I think that's also some inconsistencies in that for people too.
And sleep all the way down. All the way down. If you want to manifest more success and abundance into your life, hypnosis is the.
I don't know when she was officially reported missing. So from what I understand, from what was told to me, she went missing Tuesday. My mother claims that she noticed that she figured out that my daughter was missing when she got home, which was supposed to have been 10 o'clock. But apparently she still had not reported it at that time. She called my cousin Kat, which is Big Cat on Facebook. I'm sure you guys have seen her posts. But she called my cousin Kat and was asking about my little cousins, because I guess they go to school with my daughter as well, asking if they went to school, trying to figure out if my daughter was here or somewhere else. She called the school. The school said that my daughter had not checked in for the day. I don't know that any part of that is true. But I did not find out until almost 4 o'clock Tuesday afternoon. Like I said, my sister, the same one that's on the news talking crazy now, is the one that even let me know that my daughter was missing. My mother did not call me about anything, even remote related to my kid. Thursday. The Thursday after she went missing at 3:49 p.m.
Wow. So this is kind of thank you guys for the gifts. I appreciate it. So now that we are in, your sister had went into the news, and she also had mentioned so when she was on the news, and she basically is saying that you never around, there's also some allegations that your sister was one that was a part of the things that was going on in the house. Have you heard anything about your sister leaving your daughter out while they leave the house for hours throughout the day and she had nowhere to go? Have you heard those allegations yet?
I know that I have been told that apparently my sister's son, my nephew RJ, was apparently touching my baby as well. And my cousins told me that as well. No, my mother has not talked to me about this. My sister has not brought this to my attention. The people that are responsible for taking care of her are the people that should be telling me what's going on. When something's wrong, regardless of how big or how little it is, you should be letting me know. That is still my child. I still care for her. I still love her. I still go above and beyond for her.
And how old was this son?
But it's the fact.
How old is her son?
I spoke to them every time I spoke to my child. Every time I spoke to my child. Every time I spoke to my mother. Every time I spoke to my child.
Well, it cut off there.
And you're probably wondering, why did I make her a carrot? Well, it turns out that Callie actually loves carrot.
Yeah, it cut off. Do you see how the stories
Girl,
be all
she
over?
got my blood boiling over here.
She asked you about her being locked out, and then you jump on the nephew was messing with your daughter, and then she's asking you how old is the son, and you went off onto something else. Like, it just don't be making sense. Like, it don't be adding up.
No.
I just feel like all these people just failed this little girl. And the mom doesn't want to look bad in the public's eye, so she's trying to paint this picture that she's a victim, but she was really a good mom. That's what I get. I don't know. I could be wrong, but that's
Same way
what
I feel.
get.
Like, she's trying to paint this whole little narrative and my daughter, and all this, and all the money she give her. Well, where were you when all this was happening to your daughter? You wouldn't know a lot of this stuff if you're really telling the truth about stuff.
If you were active. If you were active. Oh my God. But the grandma, if you have to make fake text messages, that says something about you too. I don't know what could have happened to this child. I had watched another video last night where a young lady was mentioning something about there was an argument between the grandma and Kei'Mani about her menstrual, and also with the dad too. So that raises a red flag too. Like, what was that about? Like, did she end up getting pregnant? And is this why she possibly could have been unalived? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
And the way they did her, they even said like they cut her hands was cut off and a bunch of crazy stuff. So I'm like, it boils my blood because I know the mom's lying, the whole family lying. Y'all failed this girl. Like, making up stories. You're not taking accountability of you not being active. You blaming the mom when the dad get mentioned. You throwing him off of it. Which y'all all in this together at this point. Y'all all in it.
Yeah, and so I guess the dad has been released from the hospital and taken to the jail now.
Columbus,
so hopefully
jail.
Yeah. Hopefully now, once they get to questioning him, hopefully we'll get some more answers, because he did say to the girlfriend that the grandma was involved. Yeah. She's I just read them, but I'll read them again. But it sounds, and they don't even make sense. Like, I guess it's hard to talk to yourself and make it make sense. So I don't know, but the text messages don't sound right to me. So it says wait, maybe this isn't the first one. Let me see. Okay, it says Kei'Mani is fine. Okay, give me your location. I need to talk to her, please. I guess this person is supposed to be the grandma responding to this person. Who is in charge of the situation to agree and meet in a public place to give it. And this is what's throwing me off. Give it. What about her?
Right.
You don't know this is, you know what I'm saying? And then it says, I am here. I am meet where? Look here. What happened is that my people picked it up. What I'm looking for is to return it to you. As long as you don't involve the police in this, okay. Can you, y'all, I know how to read and I am not slow, but I just, I gotta read these, like, this, it don't make sense. Can you meet me at McDonald's on Cherry Street? How long does it take to get there? You have my word. If you can meet me at McDonald's on Cherry, then I won't contact the police. I'm just passing through. I'm here. This is about business. If you respect my amount, I will return it to you right now. What? That's right. Here I'm asking for the amount of $4,000. That's the business you can have with me. So tell me if you are interested in reaching an agreement with me, or I will take her to the border. Send me a picture of her unharmed. You have my amount so we can fix it. How do we know you have her? Send us a picture of her unharmed and we can discuss the $4,000. So those are the alleged text messages that was supposed to be in between Dorothy and I guess the alleged kidnapper. I'm gonna assume. Are you asking, like, did Dorothy say herself out of her mouth that she received those text messages? Is that what you're saying? Or asking? I got them offline. I was watching another person that was covering the story that mentioned this, and then I went and dug up the text messages, and that's how I got them. But me myself, no, I didn't hear Dorothy say this out of her mouth. So I don't know. But there's been so much said, different people saying that they seen her taking clothes to the garbage can, then a suitcase to the park. It's just a lot being said, and just like I said, the story is just all over the place and it makes no sense. Mm-hmm. But hopefully, I feel like they're going to get answers from the dad. Mm-hmm. That's what I feel. I heard the text messages, but okay. Wait, those did the cousin say it? Mm-hmm. It might have been the cousin. But I'm just waiting to hear what, and I will hope the detectives like let us know, right away what he says happened. Because the girlfriend did say that he said Dorothy was involved.
Yep, I heard that too.
So it sounds like he's not going to go down by himself, but at the same time, what I'm trying to figure out, if it was him and Dorothy, how, like, first of all, how would Dorothy feel comfortable enough to go to him to talk about doing anything to his child? And how would he feel comfortable enough to go to Dorothy to discuss doing anything to her grandchild? That's the part that I don't get. Like, you get what I'm trying to say? Like, that's like me going to one of my grandkids, father, like, you get what I'm trying to say? I wonder if it was about the estate.
Oh, no. I feel like the girl and the friend Jazz and Tier, they covering for somebody. They covering for somebody. All the stories on they keep blaming the grandmother. Like,
I feel what Erica's saying too in the comments. She said, because what I am starting to believe is Tierra and her friends are covering up for the baby daddy and pointing the finger at the grandmother. And you know what? That makes sense. And that's probably why we getting the different voices on the different interviews, and they both paint the same narrative, but they're not really painting the dad in a bad light.
Yeah.
That's so. You know what? I can go with that. I think that's a good narrative. Honestly,
every time they ask about him, she always switch it real quick to talk about the mom, her mom.
Yeah. So then if that's the case, then if she wants to cover up for him, then was it her and him in on this? And was it about the estate once
That's what I feel. Yep, the estate stuff.
Because I think it all leads back to the
Mhm.
estate. That's what I think. That this is why this
Especially
was done
because
to
the
this
grandmother
child.
has what she say, actual custody, and y'all don't. Of course, y'all gonna put the blame to try to get her investigated. If y'all in it together, oh, we gonna get this money together and have it at stake. You know, certain way people crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. But going back to the house though, that's still a red flag for me. But it could go either way because just like the daughter knew, is saying that, you know, they all knew that the grandmother owned the house previously or whenever she owned it years ago. So it could be either way. I don't know. This is crazy. But y'all, I'm gonna keep following this story because now that they've gotten the dad down to the jailhouse and I'm sure they're questioning him, I'm gonna be waiting to see what they say, and I'll be back to bring y'all that news. You can rest assured of that. Tomorrow we have Jesse Bueno. We're gonna be interviewing him. He's the one that's gonna be talking about the situation, that video that's been going viral where the mom, grabbed the baby, shook him up, or her. That, so we're interviewing him. He's gonna be talking about that. Now the other interview that I was supposed to do on Sunday is null and void. I sent her the deposit, and she wants me to send her in full, so she declined it, and I'm not doing that. No, because I'm not gonna pay you in full and then show for the interview, and I'm not doing that shit. And then on top of that, my thing is with some of these people that come out with these stories, like they're so distraught and they want to get the word out there. You want to find your child, or you're trying to get your child back. What, why making about money? Is no problem with me paying. I'm just not gonna pay you in full, then so if you can't take the deposit and the rest on the day of the interview, you did right by declining. I'm glad she sent me my damn money back though, because I ain't got it like that either. I give her that, but yeah. So you guys, let me read this last comment. Where is the proof? I don't believe anything that Tierra is talking. That grandmother who owns this house. So that's what I wanted to do, was go online and look up the previous owners, but I need the address, like the full address to do that. Because you can look it up and it'll tell you who owned it this year, that year, and all that stuff or whatever. So yeah, and then I have to find out the grandma's name to even know. But yeah. So you guys tune in tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Thank you guys for jumping in the comments and sharing your thoughts. Until next time, you guys all have